We're about 1 minute away from showtime. 1 minute. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and bring the studio in and we will get started.
Sure, it's so ridiculous. I'll be honest. Look, we all like to win. If I lost this election, I could handle it pretty easily. One in 24, sir. You're going to win. And I say, wait a minute. I just won 6 months ago. The big lie, they call it. Those claims are unproven. And knowing what happened in the election is a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a good thing. The county has refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. The county refused to produce the network routers. Wendy, we gotta get those routers, please. Get up! If you think everything about cancel culture, they want cancel culture. But what they don't want to do is anything having to do with the 2020 election. We have no press. We have no voice. They almost got away with it. They may have gotten away with it. And I've got to tell you, I've got to say this. I've never said it before, but I've always thought it. I get along with Putin because that's a good thing, not a bad thing. The county has refused to produce the network routers.
Here we go, hour 1.
You must unite what has been set aside.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
And greetings, Earth Explorers. Welcome to X Squared Radio. I'm your host, Brooks Agnew, coming to you live from an undisclosed location east of the Appalachian Mountains. This is where the past meets the future. In here, the results are always positive. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We have a lot to go over tonight. We are streaming live to you from the Truth Frequency Radio Network on audio, going out through iHeart and TuneIn and all over AM and FM stations all over the United States. And we are also streaming live on Foxhole, Twitch, Facebook, DLive, Twitter, YouTube, Odyssey, Rockfin, and Rumble. So every single platform that we can get our hands on, we're streaming to you because you need this information. We're also coming to you live on Foxhole. So this is all great stuff. Trying to find tonight's live stream on Foxhole. Just give me a second here. And we will dig in. Here we go. Here we go. Just want to be sure our Foxhole community is here with us. There we go. Make sure that we're streaming there. And let's go ahead and get started. And you can chat virtually any of the platforms, and I will see the chat. Good to see you out there, Old Dog Alan Holman, Matt Imber, Channel Changer, Jenny Girl, that's a new name on YouTube. Welcome. Hollow Earth Guy, and Eric Ellert is out there as well. So keep those comments coming. And let me know if you have any trouble with streaming. If you do, you can switch to one of the other free speech platforms that we have. We're going to keep YouTube with us for a few minutes anyway, and then we're going to get into our more truthful area, or should I say a little more hard truth, and then we're going to have to say goodbye to YouTube. But first, I want to let you know about our lead story tonight, which is called Automatic Banning. And I have to ask you the question, how did you vote? Now, you don't have to tell me, but you can think of it yourself. If you voted Republican, you may never be able to access your money again. PayPal routinely closes accounts and seizes the money of Trump voters. Did you know that? Yes, it's true. Thousands of bank accounts totaling millions of dollars each month are cleaned out by online banks, and the account holders are banned for life because they voted wrong in the last election. The same goes for YouTube, Shopify, Venmo, and even Patreon. Billions of dollars, one small account holder at a time. Thousands of account holders, too small to defend themselves, may never be able to pay rent, buy gasoline, or even food again. And the same goes for vaccine status in some places. The same will eventually be true if you drive the wrong type of vehicle to the gas station. Even fast food will be off limits to you. I predicted this in my book, The Arc of Millions of Years, Volume 1 and Chapter 4. So listen closely. This is a lead story. Highly vaccinated and boosted Israel was among the world's first, and certainly not the last, countries to impose a vaccine passport requirement on its population, which the government calls a green pass, And yet the pandemic has continued there unabated, and all that average citizens are left with is immensely curtailed freedoms. As a glaring case in point, Israelis apparently can't even order a Big Mac from an automatic kiosk at McDonald's unless their Green Pass status is up to date. Most recently, this means a citizen has to have not just been double jabbed, but they have to have received the booster. This is true. This is a fact. This is a lead story. This also is Israel has approved a second booster, fourth shot, for the immunocompromised and the elderly. So watch the absurdity unfold. McDonald's appeared to be the first food provider in Israel to deny customers who do not have a proof of vaccination. One local news source comments on the disturbing video that I watched. Activist Shlomo Wallfish went to the McDonald's in Bet Shemesh to try to order food. The computer that takes orders then denied him service after selecting that he does not have a green passport. With the Green Pass system, other public venues, bars, gyms, theaters, are denying people access. However, this could be a first example of a machine literally being programmed to halt service to unvaccinated people, or at least those without proper vaccine credentials. And we are being told this is all in the name of public health and safety. No COVID passport, no food. Coming to a neighborhood near you. So what are we talking about here? Are we really talking about health? I don't think so. What we're talking about here is the state versus its people. Let me give you another example. The Democrat governor in Washington State says he wants to regulate lying. Yeah. Actually, the target of Governor Jay Inslee is false statements. And the Daily Caller News Foundation explains he announced he is working on legislation that would regulate candidates and elected officials from spreading lies about elections that are likely to result in violence. He's the judge of that. Democrats have portrayed President Trump's claims about a mismanaged and stolen 2020 presidential election as the big lie, while Trump has pointed out that it actually was the election that was the lie. At least 2 extracurricular Democrat campaigns have been found to likely have impacted the election results enough to install Joe Biden in the White House. One was a study that found the $240 million handed over by Mark Zuckerberg to various mostly partisan election officials with instructions to adopt Democrat election procedures and recruit voters from Democrat areas essentially purchased the election for Virtual Joe and his gang of criminals. The other was the conclusion from the Media Research Center that had not legacy and social media outlets suppressed accurate reporting about Biden family scandals, specifically involving Hunter Biden, although enough people would have declined to support him that President Trump would likely be in office today. But they suppressed that information. The Daily Caller News Foundation pointed out Inslee's legislation still is being written, but said it would be narrowly tailored to target those statements made for the purpose of undermining the election process or the results that they want. This legislation attempted to follow the relevant U.S. and state Supreme Court opinions on the issue. We're talking about candidates and elected officials knowingly throwing bombs at democracy itself when doing so is likely to result in violence, the governor said. Should it be a crime to question fraudulent elections? That's the question. That's the question everyone is asking. We, the people, have the right to question everything. The foundation report said the Democrat announced the planned proposal on the first anniversary of the J6 rally. And he cited the event, as well as the statements made by elected officials casting doubt on the results of the 2020 presidential election, as justified for the new speech restrictions in that state. He didn't address the fact that multiple Democrats, including 2016 race loser Hillary Clinton, repeatedly described President Trump as an illegitimate president for the entire 4 years. The governor did say J6 is a reminder not only of the insurrection that happened 1 year ago, and that there is an ongoing coup attempt by candidates and elected officials to overturn our democracy. Whatever. Inslee also cited a 1969 Supreme Court ruling in Brandenburg versus Ohio that said speech inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action is not protected by the First Amendment, which normally covers political statements. We ran outlaw elections that provoked political violence, and in doing so also endangered our republic. And there's more that can be done by states and Congress to protect our democracy, Inslee says. I am open to any proposal that will protect the will of the voters and the institutions they use to decide who governs them. Empty words. Empty words. Besides the statements the Democrats have issued in conflict with the 2016 results, a Real Clear Politics column a short time ago pointed out another 10 Democrat smears and lies. I'm going to share them with you, and then we're going to say goodbye to YouTube. It needs to be out there. People need to know this. This is what really happened. These are the real facts. When they insisted that Donald Trump was a Russian asset, we were told to believe they were safeguarding national security. A lie. When they accused Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault and even gang rape, we were told to believe they were protecting the Supreme Court. A lie. When in 2019, they made President Trump only the third president in history to be impeached and the only one not accused of committing a high crime and misdemeanor, we were told to believe they were defending the rule of law. A lie. When scores of BLM protesters turned violent in 2020, they told us to believe the gatherings were mostly peaceful. A lie. When Antifa thugs destroyed property, beat citizens, killed police, occupied public lands, they told us to believe that the group didn't even exist. A lie. When some undefined, unaffiliated people online appeared to subscribe to crazy conspiracy theories involving Satan and pedophiles, they told us to believe it was a vast and highly organized group intent on overthrowing the government. A lie. When they argued that whiteness and white privilege are the underlying source of all of America's problems, they told us to believe they were trying to heal the nation. A lie. When they censored allegations of the Biden family's corruption, they told us to believe they were fighting disinformation. A lie. When they allowed Twitter mobs to destroy people who had once said something they didn't agree with or like, they told us to believe that they were seeking justice. A lie. And finally, when they demonize and silence the tens of millions of people who oppose their quest for domination, they tell us they are seeking unity. A lie. You know it, and I know it. And everyone that's listening tonight knows it. All right, we have to say goodbye to YouTube now. I hate it. I love my 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. I cherish you more than anything. But as you know, Google routinely violates our civil rights, and we cannot allow that on this program. So we are going to say goodbye to YouTube. So all of you that are on YouTube right now, just look at the description right below. Look right there, right below. Open that up right there. That's it. All those links to all these other great free speech platforms are available to you, and you can watch the next 2.5 hours of America Free Radio, because we believe in peace, justice,